Today on the channel from Mcfarlane Toys and the Spawn line, we've got Haunt.
The spirit of the warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here. Welcome back to the channel for another Mcfarlane Toys unboxing and review. And today we're back to the Spawn line as we've got Haunt. But for all your Spawn and your Mcfarlane toy needs, hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. So Haunt, a Spawn universe character, one that was much more after my time, but I know enough to be dangerous. I know at least the premise of the character. He's like two brothers, like one of the brothers died, the other one's alive, and he's brought together into one being and off to the races, I guess. And he kind of teams with Spawn, feuds with Spawn a little bit, had his own issues for a while. And I believe it was Todd McFarlane and Robert Kirkman of Walking Dead fame that teamed up to create this character. And I do know he shoots around some ectoplasm, or controls the ectoplasm, like a young Ghostbusters is what he's like. But besides that, I don't know a whole lot about this character, but he is cool enough looking. That being said, I would have rather had some more classic Spawn villains. I'm showing my age again, I guess. Give me Tremor. Give me Tremor. Give me medieval Spawn. Give me some of those ones that harken back to the old days. But I guess you got to mix some new blood in there, and that's where Haunt comes into. And where we come into this review is we're going to do it like all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So let's take a look at old Haunt in the packaging. I always do like these Spawn McFarlane packagings. I really love the Spawn logo in green. The colorful background, the kind of blood red siding going on there. Always looks really good. Big window boxes we're accustomed to with McFarlane Toys. You got all of his accessories hanging out, and then of course the figure in there. 22 moving parts on this bad boy. I got a little glamour shot of him getting ready to swing his little saber action there. A little Spawn on the side, and then the back, as usual with McFarlane, nothing going on, nothing doing on the back, just that glamour artwork going on, I guess. And there's no card on this one either, so we're not getting any kind of deep look at this character. It is what it is, I guess. We do get the stand with him, though, as we're accustomed to. I like the background there. That looks really good, but that's it. I'll get that stand later. See you later. Goodbye. And then we get Haunt. Oh, boy. Plastic prison for old Haunt. Haunting our dreams. Haunting our days, haunting our nights is what he's doing right there, but it looks pretty good in the plastic prison. I got all kinds of stuff to cut out, so we'll cut him out of here. We'll free him from this plastic prison. Hopefully, it looks like we got a few different accessories here. Now, this feels like it should be a jumbo figure because the packaging is a little bit more jumbo, but as we can see, this is just kind of a normal-sized McFarlane Toys figure in deluxe pack is really all we're getting right here. So some might complain about that, especially the price point being about $25 on these guys, a little bit more expensive than your typical regular everyday McFarlane toy. But it is what it is, and we all vote with our wallets, as we always say and talk about on the channel. Uh-oh, we're locked in all over the place. They're not messing around here. They don't want anybody haunting any dreams without paying for them. So we'll get them all out. Okay, I think that's good. A little tape holding the hands in. Of course, there's tape. If there's not twist ties, there's going to be tape. That's just the way it goes. And we're off to the races. See you later. There it goes. Twist tie city. Let's pull those over. Throw those there. And now we truly are off to the races. And let's look at the accessories first here. We get some extra hands. He's got a bit more open maniacal hands going on. And then we get kind of more of the same right here. A little bit of kind of effects to it and stuff. Looks almost like mummy-wrapped hands is what it looks like here. We get extra hands for Haunt. If that's your thing, you're in luck because you got extra hands. Then you get a little arm thing. You put this on his arm. It's like, I don't even know what we call this thing, but it's just an effect for him. Like we see with Marvel Legends and other toy lines, some effect pieces. That's what we have here. Looks very similar to him with kind of a black, whitish, gray scale. A lot of sculpting, a lot of detail in on this one, but it does seem very plain with the color wash here. Very concrete color wash. So you got that. And then I have no clue what this is. Is this a stand? I don't know. I guess it is. It looks like it is. So this looks like there's something he stands on. You got a little peg hole down at the bottom. Matches along with everything else there, but it's just a little effect piece, a little diorama piece you can use with Haunt if you are so inclined. Now we get down to the figure here, and I gotta say I don't have a fondness for the character like I do Spawn or some other characters we talk about. But this does look cool enough, but I guess it depends where your fandom is on this Haunt figure. If you're just like me, you've heard about him but don't really know a ton about the character, this might be an easy pass for you. I'm not sure. It's cool enough, but I don't know if it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And man, that sliced bread invention back in the day, that was truly a game changer. I think we'd all agree on that one. But we'll start with the head on this figure. Once again, you get the black, white, gray, kind of a skunk pattern throughout the body. We'll talk about it right now. He does have some fangs going on, some nice white eyes. It does look like a very scary character here. You got a little human skin down below, but the rest of it is regular kind of white, black, and gray skunk colors, really. You've got big articulation here with the shoulders. You got some shoulder butterfly action going on, so that is always nice, a little extra articulation. It's interesting how it turns from the grayish white to just black right there at the biceps. It's not a gradual transition, it's just like an immediate transition in the color, so that does catch your eye, for good or for bad, I guess. Double jointed elbows on this one. We do have pins in the joints, as we know. Typical Mcfarlane hands. They are replaceable, as we talked about. We got a little effect pieces glued in on the forearms here, so make note of that. You get the waist articulation, and then you get a little bit of hula hoop action as well, so you get some good articulation there in the body. For Haunt, of course, he does have a little bit softness in the diaper region like we see with a lot of Mcfarlane toys. Not as bad as some, but you can definitely just tell it is a different plastic being used. Double jointed knees down here, very tight knees, double jointed like I said, but very, very tight, but you can get them if you force it. Pins in the joints there. He does have the ankle articulation we're used to, but once again, not the worst. I've seen worse for the balls down there at the ankles. You can still tell, but not as bad as some of the other characters, so maybe they're improving those. That's been one of my Spawn Mcfarlane toy gripes for quite some time. And then you do get the foot articulation that is a Mcfarlane standard. You can't not have that foot articulation going on. But it is Haunt. For good or for bad, I don't know. I'd be interested to know if anybody is a Haunt fan out there, if anybody's a huge fan of him. It's cool enough. I just don't know if it's a total game changer. And I do anticipate him to go to clearance eventually. So you long game players, you might want to mount up, put him on your list, because we've seen a lot of the Mcfarlane toy Spawn figures go to clearance eventually. You just got to play a little of that long game we always talk about. But I think Haunt not having as much recognition as maybe Spawn or Overkill or Violator for sure, and some of those, you might be able to play the long game and pick him up at a reasonable price down the road. Like I said, he comes with a stand, but you can also use this as a stand for him if you are so inclined. But not a ton of meat on the bone compared to some of the other ones. Some of the other Spawn guys come, like She-Spawn comes with a million weapons. Overkill, a big deluxe hulking figure, much like Violator. Spawn, I got Spawn right here on his throne. We got that one that came with the throne. We have him right here. So comparison size, you can kind of see how that goes. Those were a little bit more deluxe. I guess the price points were just a little bit higher, but still, I don't know if it's what we're really looking for. And then for the same price point, I did grab this Spawn. I was really eyeing this one. I said I'm going to use this one for comparison as a little different color pattern for a difference. The Mortal Kombat Spawn here in yellow. But Haunt, it's okay. It is what it is. My recommendation, maybe play a little of that long game, but it all comes down to what your wallet says, how big of a fan you are, things like that. Nothing too wrong with the figure. As far as I know, it looks just like him. If you've no Haunt enough to be dangerous, you'd say, oh yeah, that's a Haunt figure. So I gotta say it's a good figure. It's just probably where it comes to me is I'm not really deeply invested in the character, so he's not gonna be at the top of any of my list, but still cool nonetheless. And I guess that's the best way for me to sum it up. But how would you sum up Haunt? Would you pick this up? You pass on it? Play a little of that long game? Any thoughts on Haunt? Shoot them down in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far, you might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell, and of course, follow along on social media at SirPaul64, on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and of course, Patreon, where you get this video and many, many other videos much, much earlier. And best of all, you get to support the channel. Also, exclusive content, giveaways, other stuff on the Patreon to check out. So there it is for Mcfarlane Toys. We've got Haunt. I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.